Today on Seattle Refined.
I'm like really low-key annoyed, but I'm not even gonna go into that.
Well, we are. Our Bachelorette Roundtable puts Rachel's hometown dates on blast.
I don't fully understand why it's like a deal breaker that he's never been in love before. Yeah. He can still be in love going forward.
Then,
how much fun is this product?
The actual product itself, it's a magnet.
It's a story that's impossible not to be attracted to. We get a behind-the-scenes look at the magic of magnets. And Refined to the rescue. Help us find a home for Jethro. Seattle Refined starts now. Hey everybody, welcome to Seattle Refined. I'm Gard Swanson. We have so many questions now that the Bachelorette is down to just 3 guys. Did Rachel's parents sink Brian's chances of winning? Is Eric the new front runner? What is the actual definition of the word proposal? Well, those burning questions and more in today's Bachelorette Roundtable.
So we thought last week was going to be a fantasy suite day, but it kind of ended up being a Rachel's hometown day because her sister's super pregnant and they had to kind of mix things around. What do you think? Who did well in the hometowns?
I honestly think that Peter did the best just because he had a really like real outsider or not, not like in the Bachelor bubble reaction. Like he's like, I don't really know if I want to be engaged to her at the end of this. Like, I know I want to pursue something, which is very real.
I actually came in today wondering, should I ask for you and your husband's blessing? And I don't want to do that today.
Well, the editing did not leave anything up to the imagination.
Nice to meet you, man.
The family likes Peter, we don't like Brian, and they're whatever about Eric's. So, I mean, it was a hands down Peter won, like, that hometown date, because that's the way that Rachel and her family have always been, keeping it real, keeping it real. And it was funny, because even if her last season with Nick, she was like, I don't know, I can't say I love you. And now Peter's doing that, and now Rachel's. It just shows you how being the Bachelor and Bachelorette, it messes with your mind. She's kind of turning into somebody who she said she would never turn into.
Well, and that's exactly what her sister said. She was like, oh, Peter's the you of your season, which I thought, first of all, it's a slow clap for the sister, Constance. She was like the real hero of that episode last night. That was outstanding.
I was very open with my feelings from the get-go with her, and from day one, I felt, she's my girlfriend.
She was a girlfriend after like a week.
Yeah.
What I have to admit about Peter, obviously he's extremely good looking. Don't worry, Gina, I'm not coming for your man. But he is consistently telling her things that she doesn't want to hear, which is like, I don't know if I'm falling in love with you. I don't know if I can, marry you in 2 weeks or like get engaged in 2 weeks. And yet she's keeping him around. And that's who the parents like the best. Whereas Brian's like, I loved you the minute I saw you.
I love it that the family saw right through Brian, like the rest of all of us have. We're like, no, we don't get it. Brian is definitely schmoozing. He knows exactly what he's doing. And the family was just sitting there like, okay, crickets, no, this is not happening.
Rachel was not happy with the questions. I could see her face, and I know that it was uncomfortable, and I hated it for her. You and Brian over here, but that goes along with asking us to be here to assess these guys.
And then Eric was kind of a wash for me. It was like, okay, I think they didn't. The crazy thing about the Eric one was that he's never found love, which we've had an argument about this. He's never found love. He said he's never been in love before, but he was ready to propose to her. And he asked for permission to propose to their daughter at the end of this. And that threw me for a loop, and I think the family saw right through that too.
I don't fully understand why it's like a deal breaker that he's never been in love before.
I agree with you.
You know what I mean? Like, he can still be in love going forward. It almost seems like what you're saying is that the first time you fall in love, it's like a wash. I really honestly can't remember anything super memorable about Eric's date or fantasy suite or hometown. It wasn't bad. Watching the way he looks at Rachel, that guy is so in love. Like, he just smiles so big. Anyway, so he does his fantasy suite. We see them cuddle in the morning, whatever. Who knows what happened. Then Peter and her have a date, and they have a really interesting conversation about their different views of what getting engaged means. And I have to tell you, I was on Twitter a little bit afterwards to see it, and people are like furious that Rachel doesn't seem to understand what getting engaged means.
I get where Rachel's coming from about, she thinks, hey, we can get engaged. That's more of a commitment towards each other. We don't have to think about the wedding right off the bat. And Peter's going, when you get engaged, that's saying, I will marry you someday. Let's have a wedding.
There was something really interesting about that conversation where Peter literally says, what does being engaged mean to you? And Rachel is like, being engaged means that we're like gonna be together and gonna keep doing our thing. What does it mean to you? And Peter's like, being engaged means we're going to be married. Yeah, someone grab her a dictionary. Like, that is what the word means.
He actually really wants to get to know her and explore the relationship, where Brian is just like, okay, you meet this, you meet this, you meet this, let's get married.
Who's the final two?
Brian and Peter.
Brian and Peter.
I don't know. I want to say Brian and Peter, but I feel like Eric is kind of like coming up. He's coming up on the ranks.
Okay, we'll see.
I also love him too.
You also want Peter to be free so you can have him.
Kind of, yeah. Age does not matter in this situation.
So we're going to have to wait until next week to find out who wins Rachel's heart, because tonight is the evening we wait for all season. It's the Men Tell All special.
Hello and welcome to the Bachelorette, the Men Tell All.
It's the reunion show everyone's been waiting for.
I'm gonna have problems with some of these guys in here.
Because all of your favorite men from this season are back.
Are you throwing fastballs in here right now?
And they're ready to tell all.
You're clearly just full of all he's gonna do is pour gas on fire.
Everything is a lie. What does that have to do with Rachel?
There's a fight that's gonna happen. Blood's gonna be shed. It's freaking me the hell out.
This is unreal.
Rachel told Dean she was falling in love, only to send him home.
I meant everything that I said to you. As hard as that may be to feel right now.
And
you thought you could tell this girl you were ready to wife her when you were in my bed.
Mario's girlfriend exposed his past, forcing him off the show.
I've sent people home who genuinely I felt wanted to be here.
I definitely want to be here.
I believe you want to be here. I just don't think you want to be here for me.
Now he'll tell his side of the story.
I can't even look at you right now.
And then there's Kenny and Lee.
You're damn right I enjoy pissing them off.
They hated each other.
I tried to be kind to you. You're a bitch. You.
What will happen when they face each other again?
I'm a widow's ass. It must feel terrible that you have to lie. You ever feel no shame?
I'm gonna find joy in crumbling his world.
And in 2 weeks, Rachel's romantic journey comes to a dramatic end.
What's wrong with me?
What am I supposed to say?
What will happen with Peter?
I just felt like I'm making a big mistake. I don't want to repeat what I've done in every single relationship. I didn't come here to date. I didn't come here to have a boyfriend. I want a proposal. Am I forcing myself to do something that I'm not ready for?
Don't miss the Bachelorette Men Tell All reunion special tonight at 8 right here on Como. Coming up on Refined, Seattle's most photogenic super couple goes on vacation, and we have the snapshots to prove it. But first,
did you ever think you'd get to play with lasers every day?
No, actually, when I first, saw the job opportunity, I thought it would be so cool to go in there and play with them. And it was one of the best opportunities I got, actually.
if there's a magnet on your fridge, chances are it came from this place. We'll meet the Northwest's very own Chotsky King. But first, here is the iHeartRadio Music Festival word of the day. Log on to KissFMSeattle.com and enter for your chance to win a trip to the iHeartRadio Music Festival in Las Vegas. Good luck, everybody. Welcome back to Refined. I'm Guard Swanson. Well, what's in a name? Well, if your name is Ann or you're married to her, apparently your name buys a pretty nice house. Zillow just released a new study that identifies the names of people who own the most valuable homes across the nation. Here in Washington, people named Ann, on average, own homes worth about $435,000. Across the rest of the U.S., people named Stuart and Allison apparently own the most valuable homes. Somehow, my name did not make the list. Go figure, right? If you want to learn more, log on to our website. Now, if you own a home, chances are you also own a refrigerator. And chances are good, somewhere on that fridge is a magnet. And as Refine's John Prentice discovered, there's also a very good chance that magnet came from a business in Monroe he found very attractive.
Greetings from Ohio, New Mexico, New York, and Monroe.
This is Morse Magnets. We manufacture refrigerator magnets, make about 15 to 20,000 pieces a day, every day. We also make an array of other products, key tags and coasters and awards, all kinds of different little tchotchkes. We also do a lot of gift business that you'll find in souvenir stores all around the country.
From custom light switch covers for big companies to kitschy signs for your vacation home, Morris Magnets does a little bit of everything. But their bread and butter is the good old refrigerator magnet, holding grocery lists, kids' drawings, and photos of loved ones to fridges all over the USA.
I told my mom when I was going to buy this place 21 years ago that I was buying a magnet company, and I can still hear her say, "Oh, Bill." I mean, who can make a living selling magnets, right?
This place cranks out more than 4 million magnets and other knickknacks every year. But whether they're headed to Vegas, Amish country, or the Minnesota Transportation Museum, all Morris magnets start off in the design department. Sarah Lego is in charge and says each product is unique and tailored to meet the client's wishes.
Over the about 10 years that you've been here, how many pieces do you think you've designed?
Thousands, tens of thousands. It's been a lot.
Once the design is finalized, it goes on to production. Multiple images printed on special paper are stacked with thick transparent sheets like these and melted together in this big machine.
It takes about 30 to 40 seconds per board, running at over 230 degrees Fahrenheit.
Peel off the protective film and you have a sheet of magnets. Miguel does this every day and says he takes great pride in his work.
Are there any of these places that you want to visit?
Yeah, we make a lot of products for Austin, Texas, and so that'd probably be a nice place to go visit.
Sweet.
Lastly, these sheets need to be cut into individual magnets with a laser.
Did you ever think you'd get to play with lasers every day?
No, actually, when I first, saw the job opportunity, I thought it would be so cool to go in there and play with them.
Once the shapes are cut out, technicians buff them to a high luster before being packed up and shipped out.
What's your favorite piece that you've worked on so far?
There was these baby ones that had a mustache on it. I thought it was funny. Right when I saw it, I laughed so hard.
Amazing. But for Morris Magnets, it's all in a day's work.
How much fun is this product?
The actual product itself, it's a magnet.
John Prentice, Seattle Refined.
To learn more about Morris Magnets, log on to our website. Coming up on Refined, we get our workout on. Plus, help us find a home for this guy. Here at Seattle Refined, we never get tired of hearing from you. Like us on Facebook, tweet us your story ideas, or shoot us an email telling us what you want to see on the show. You can find our inbox at hello@seattlerefined.com. Seattle Refined will be right back. Welcome back to the show. I'm Gard Swanson. Well, we are in the thick of another beautiful Seattle summer. And it's that time of year when we're all showing a little more skin. And we all want to look good in our shorts and our swimsuits, right? But where should you go to get into shape? There's so many options. Well, people are now swearing by boutique-style studios like Orange Theory, Soul Cycle, and Pure Barre. That's why we are kicking off another workout week on Refined. Every day, we will sweat it out at a new studio to see if these boutique gyms really live up to the hype. First up, Orange Theory Fitness.
I think nothing can compare to us.
Orange Theory Fitness is the hottest fitness trend in the country right now, and it's exploded across the greater Seattle area. Odds are you've driven past a studio and wondered what goes on in these classes.
I have a couple friends who are obsessed with it.
We sent two Refined team members, Britt and Gina, to the Ballard location to see what all the fuss is about.
I'm really nervous. I'm not great at trying new things.
I go to the Lower Queen Anne one and I love it, but it's kind of cramped and small, so I'm really excited to see this gym, and it's huge.
First things first, Britt and Gina strapped on a heart monitor to track their workout.
The goal is to maintain at 84% or greater of your max heart rate for 12 or more minutes throughout the workout, because science says that when you hold your heart rate at 84% or greater for 12 or more minutes within a workout, it can create an afterburn that can last up to 36 hours following. Because you can't deny science. And you see it right up there. You get a summary after every single workout telling you how many calories you burned, where you were throughout the entire class.
I think that's gonna probably be a big shocker to me that I haven't been working out as hard as I thought I would have, and I haven't been reaching the zones that I think I have in my normal workouts, so it'll be eye-opening, I'm sure. So I'm nervous, but I'm excited. It's gonna get weird in there. So I did did the leg weight thing first, or like the floor workout first, and then I did the treadmill, and I can see how doing that opposite might be different. I could barely move on the treadmill. I was like walking. I thought I was gonna be like a runner or a jogger, but then I got on the treadmill and I was like, okay, I'm a walker today.
The squats at the end, because my legs were already like jelly.
I found myself toward the end constantly looking up and checking like, oh, I'm in green. Or when I would be in orange, I'd be really excited about being in orange and being like, all right, maintain. So I think just being more aware of like where your body is at during a workout is probably gonna help my performance in the future too. Sometimes even the idea of having my stats up on the board for everyone to see is like very intimidating, but everyone was so in their own zone. It's kind of selfish of me to think that way. Like, who else cares about Britt Thorson when they're in there? Everyone's focused on themselves, right? And so I didn't feel, the only person who was paying attention to me was Mallory, and she was just like my #1 cheerleader.
Right now, let's go! You got this, go! 3, 2, and 1.
She did amazing. I know she was dying there for a second, but she got through it, so that's what's up. Our workouts are created specifically to appeal to every single kind of person. The sedentary adult, the person who hasn't worked out in years for whatever reason, all the way up to an Olympic athlete or a professional athlete.
But it's so hard.
I know.
Great job, guys.
Britt and Gina survived Orange Theory, calling it one of the hardest workouts of their lives. Their advice?
I feel like you just have to come and do it.
It was so intense.
Yeah.
Like, I really liked it, but I can tell how you could just get like shredded doing this class.
Britt and Gina didn't think it could get any harder, but they were wrong. Refined's workout week continues tomorrow with Pure Barre. They had no idea what was really in store for them. We'll be right back, but first, check out a Refined shareable moment of the day.
All right, so today we're gonna make a couple different sushi rolls. One of them is gonna be a Cheesecake Factor roll, which isn't on the menu yet, but it's gonna be added pretty soon. We just came up with it. Brandon actually came up with the Cheesecake Factor roll. They're like cheesecake bites. And I came up with the Give Me S'mores rolls, so we're gonna start off with those two.
My mom used to make me peanut butter dough, and it brings everybody back to it. I guess a more innocent time, for lack of a better phrase, and everybody loves it, and it's a market that we're very proud of, and the Pittsburgh community has really accepted us. Like I said, we don't want to just have the sweet, and we don't want to just have the savory. We want to have the bitter and the spicy and everything under the sun that basically kind of calls to all patrons of all kinds, short, tall, old, young. And so what we did was we created the spicy crunchy peanut, which is a raspberry jalapeno jelly as opposed to a regular raspberry jelly where it's just fruit. A little bit of spice in there with sriracha drizzle. And then, it has that extra kick to it, but it's not so much that it's like, oh man, so you're not sweating when you leave. Peanut butter jelly is the biggest thing in my world. We talk about stories of my sister, making certain things, and when I made certain things, and my brother. But finally, when we came up with the menu, every single item has a reason on why it's there, and that's why everything is so important.
Welcome back to Refined. We never need an excuse to celebrate dogs on our show, but we have a pretty good one today because it's National Mutt Day, which brings me to one of the favorite things we do on this show, Refined to the Rescue. Our latest dog in need of a great forever home is Jethro. Could this guy be any cuter? Our friends at Saving Great Animals tells us Jethro is a Pit Basset Hound mix with a lovely temperament. He's about 3 years old, house-trained, and loves to play. To learn more about Jethro, log on to our website. From a great dog to the Great Wall, we also never need an excuse to show you what Seattle super couple Russell Wilson and Sierra are up to. The entire Wilson family has been tootling around China on vacation, and they're doing all the tourist stuff, including visiting Disneyland Shanghai. To see more snapshots from Wilson's vacay, check out the gallery on our website. right, that's going to do it for today's show. I'm Garth Swanson. We'll see you next time right here on Seattle Refined.